Match 59, Biollante vs. Legion, by Eugene Tan. A magnificent titan surveyed her new colony from a cliff. She was the queen of her colony, her race feared throughout the universe. This planet's fears had been realized. The monster had taken the Osaka for herself, and her ideas for world domination would soon follow suit. Okay, her ideas. Interesting that she's that intelligent. Anyway, this alien.
Legion
Usually all
was
kaiju
Legion.
are stupid.
Wait, hold up. Was Legion's intelligence ever like verified of how intelligent she really is?
She was combat adept, but I'm not really sure how smart. I don't remember being like, "Oh, I'm gonna take over the world." I think it was just more of like a natural thing, you know. It's like, "Oh, she's just."
Because I remember that Legion's intelligence a little ambiguous.
It's just more like a giant animal sort of thing.
Okay, guys, Legion has an analysis of her, and I just pulled it up. Apparently, she has a master's in psychology and a minor in pain. So I think she might be good.
Is it regular psychology or child psychology?
Just normal psychology.
Okay,
she bald?
a lot of ants down there, by the way.
Wait. Is there a psychology degree useless?
I mean, that's probably why she minored in pain. She wanted to fall back on that at a later point, and boy, did she.
Man, everyone knows minors are completely worthless.
So does that mean we have to call her Dr. Legion?
So, wait, does that mean that she uses her minor in pain to make people go to her major in psychology?
Well, if we have to call her Dr. Legion, she would have to have a doctorate.
Now I'm imagining Legion is the Dr. Phil equivalent of Kaiju.
Oh, jeez. Well, wouldn't that be a story for?
Oh, wait. She also mastered in religious intolerance.
And she has like Space Godzilla and Godzilla on the show. Now, Space Godzilla, I know that you think you're different, but you and your brother need to get along.
Anyway.
And Godzilla, you need to stop your male activities. It's disgusting. We're supposed to live in the biblical Christian times or whatever.
This alien's race had overrun many a planet, and now it was her turn.
She finally drew the right straw.
Legion would have grinned in satisfaction if her knife-like head structure allowed her, as she watched the once bustling city's new face. A ghost town, overrun by her brethren. More like her offspring, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's supposed to be the queen.
Yeah.
She also raises an inbred family.
Legion then turned her attention to the multiple massive pink flowers sprouting from the roads and sides of buildings, emitting lethal levels of oxygen. However, the crown jewel of the flowers, a massive one over 30 meters in diameter, rested ominously atop the Umeda Sky Building.
Why is it lethal levels? Why is it lethal levels of oxygen?
Well,
Can Legion not breathe oxygen?
2 Mach's oxygen can kill you.
I understand that, but I'm not sure if that actually applies to Legion. She's silicon-based, remember?
Right, but I think
So
it's just probably
Destroy's
for
favorite area
everything
now?
else. I think it's just more for everything else in the area.
Okay.
So,
in case something
Which is
happens
a
to be alive,
public
it's dead now.
Service announcement that too much KWC is a bad thing for you. Like that, after all.
So this is Destroyer's favorite area now because there's a lot of oxygen for him to eat.
Yes. Not that this colony would
Well,
last
no,
long.
the oxygen is a byproduct of them eating silicon. So therefore, if there's too much, then they just, it's literally like basically why you don't want to be anyone or close to anyone after they go to a buffet. It's just like, nope. Especially if it's a Mexican buffet, just run.
So what you're saying is Legion's greatest weakness is literally plants.
No, Legion's greatest weakness is if you light a match after she's done eating.
You know what? That's a good question. How flammable actually is Legion?
Great shot. Hold on. You said about a Mexican buffet you run. Are you saying that a Mexican buffet is a literal gas chamber?
Oh, wow. Did you? Wow. Okay then.
Hey, you're the one who suggested it.
I actually have a question. How flammable is Legion?
Not very.
Not-
Remember Gamma Shadow Fire?
That is true. It's not that she produces the oxygen. I mean, she does. It's in her joints. But you also have to imagine, because of the mixture of the atmosphere, it depends on flammability. Does pure oxygen ignite?
I have no idea.
I would assume so.
I could ask my astronomy teacher.
Does pure oxygen? I'm looking this up. Burn.
Well, I'm gonna keep
Hard-hitting
reading
journalist
it.
on the KDB on the committee reads.
Well,
Oh, so it needs a fuel and an oxidizer like oxygen. Without the fuel, there is no combustion and will take place no matter how high the. Yeah, that's why. So even if there's a massive amount of oxygen, it does not mean that it's the right mixture to ignite. That's why that's why.
That's true.
Yeah, you could, and like war, you could shoot like a ton of holes through them, but that doesn't mean they're going to blow up. It's just because the mixture isn't right.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Science.
Anyway,
Science.
now if I may continue.
No.
You can't.
Never.
Not that this colony would
Go ahead.
last long anyway. The flower would explode soon and reduce the magnificent city into a pile of rubble, launching the flower's huge seed, filled with its brood, into another planet to colonize. This planet served not only as Legion's new kingdom, but her base for future conquest.
The next planet, Uranus.
I thought it'd be Mars.
It's a big. It's like the Mexican buffet, a big gas giant.
As Legion contemplated future plans, man, she's really thinking far ahead.
Yeah, she's a go-getter. That's one.
Glowing particles suddenly appeared from the sky and descended lazily into the ground. Legion was both mesmerized and cautious of the beautiful sight. The dancing spores finally came to rest on the streets of Osaka before they began to take a form. A cyclone of earth and cement was thrown over 100 meters into the air as the shape formed. Legion could vaguely see a body as large as her own, along with tentacles and a glowing orange orb. As the transformation...
Oh, orb.
Well, at least it's used in the right context. As the transformation neared completion, various deafening bird-like screeches emanated from the form. Finally, to signify its arrival, the beam gave a terrifying roar into the air. As the dust cleared, Legion gurgled in surprise and horror. The glittering, hypnotic spores had taken the form of a monstrosity.
Bum bum bum! It's Ultraman.
Resting upon a huge, hideous body of tendrils and dark plant mass was a gargantuan head, similar to that of a prehistoric mosasaur, or a huge crocodile. With a
No,
terrifying...
a gargantuan's the gargantuan's head is more human-like.
That's Gargantua, not Gargantuan.
Damn, kids, I'm trying to sleep here.
With a terrifying eyeless head were row after row of knife-like teeth, each one larger than a man. Extending from the huge body of this new monster were dozens of long tendrils. Many ended with jaws filled with razor-sharp teeth. Others ended in deadly spears. This entity was entirely rooted to the ground to hold its immense size, rivaling that of Legion. Enter Biollante. Biollante was once very human, just like those who were once citizens of Osaka, but due to a tragedy, she was now a monster, unable to live.
So every citizen in Osaka became a Biollante?
Apparently!
Thanks, Dad.
They all shared the same tragedy. Anyway, unable to live her human life anymore. Although Violante occasionally witnessed flashes of her past life, they were like eclipses, beautiful but fleeting. Violante was now, to the world, just like Legion, another kaiju. However, unlike Legion and her race, Biollante sought to protect the Earth from any threat that dared offend it.
And Godzilla. He's just kind of there.
Violante immediately turned her monstrous mug at Legion and gave the alien a roar, challenging Legion for her territory. Legion immediately felt offended. Oh, feelings now too. Oh, geez, we're getting emotional here. This little nuance had dared to challenge her.
Innocence.
Yeah.
Special guest.
It looked like Biollante was trying to be some hero. The last hero that Legion had met up with ended up without his head.
You scared him, Andrew.
Wait, scared who? Who's just on?
No one.
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for it, which I always do, apparently.
Now that she had gotten her foe's attention, Biollante wasted no time into attacking. She swiftly sent her tendrils at the alien queen. As they neared her enemy, the serpentine vines cackled in glee. Legion quickly expanded.
Violante used Power Whip. It was super effective.
Legion quickly
But Legion's a bug type.
expanded the long petal-like legs around her head to form an electric spider web-like barrier. Unfortunately for Legion, the vines just surged through and within seconds were striking Legion all over. Legion squealed in annoyance and pain as one tendril drilled into her side,
How annoying.
causing an explosion of concentrated oxygen to emerge from the wound. Before Legion could analyze the situation, 3 more tendrils stabbed into the back and chest. Biollante, impressed by her own results, sent yet another line of tendrils at Legion. Pass.
By now, Legion was ready to retaliate. From her back, 2 immense bladed legs suddenly burst from the ground behind Legion and reared into the air before Legion. Wait, what? Yeah, oh yeah, reared into.
You got.
Reared into the air before Legion sent them down at the offending tendrils. The massive spear-like limbs instantly sliced off sliced off a good many tendrils. Violante's reply, however, came in the form of
Take it slow. It's okay. We're not judging you.
Indignant roar. Legion did not take such indignance lightly. The alien queen's head, shaped like a dagger and just as sharp, suddenly split into half to reveal a yellowish glowing orb. Hey, the orbs are back. From within, glittering energy was charged up before being launched in the form of a massive electromagnetic beam. Legion did not bother aiming at any particular tendril. Instead, the massive mother fired it at the ground.
Hey, Big Mama.
That's the one that's upside with her attack. She basically just points in a direction. It's like, well, it'll hit or it'll hit.
It'll hit something.
Or it'll hit nothing like Gamera.
Well, to be fair, I think Gamma is actually faster than Biollante by a good 10 miles.
Yeah, I know, but Gamera like barely moves, and that energy blast just completely swirls around him.
Listen. Have you seen what Legion looks like? I don't think her eyes are where they should be. She can't see that well. She needs glasses.
Glasses specialized in electricity and silicon. Anyway.
Exactly. She needs special silicon.
Legion used an attack and missed.
Immediately,
Violante's turn in Pokemon battle.
She used Electro Ball by the sound of it.
God. Immediately, a massive wall of fire rose before Legion. Instantly, dead and burnt tendrils were scattered across the battlefield. The explosion went on for almost half a minute, ensuring the destruction of any surviving tendrils. Legion then looked up at her enemy and laughed eerily. Violante could feel the heat of the flames from far away. Despite her shock at her enemy's prowess, Violante was not intimidated. Besides, Violante had something up her sleeve, granted by the cells of a certain reptile. Legion's satisfaction turned to horror as something began
Now
to happen.
hold on a minute. Biollante doesn't have sleeves. I don't think this match is very realistic.
So the Viollante
Anyway.
just used... Wait, not yet.
You want realistic? Well, check this out. The stubs that once were devastating tendrils were, well, becoming devastating tendrils again. Legion's
Viollante
horn.
used ingrain.
Biollante used synthesis and recovered.
Yeah. Anyway.
Legion's horn glittered once more to summon forth its destructive energies, but this time, Violante directed a mass of tendrils at Legion's upper body, ripping several holes in the queen's neck and knocking her off balance. The electromagnetic beam fired off into the sky, missing Violante's tendrils entirely. Before Legion could get to her feet, several tendrils burst out of the ground behind Legion and struck down at her back and legs, pinning her to the ground. Then Violante charged. Because that wouldn't be terrifying at all.
Yeah, I
To
know,
be
right?
fair, that does sound pretty terrifying. There's Biollante going.
To be fair, if any monster was terrifying and like just how it moved and everything, that'd be Biollante. So
most certainly.
Legion should be shaking.
I actually need to write a match with when Biollante charges and her opponent is just like, okay, maybe I should leave.
Oh, sorry.
I should write a match where it's like Zone Fighter or Ultraman, and they see a Biollante charge, they just turn around and going, nope, I'm out of here.
Anyway.
Legion screamed in shock as Biolante's huge mass descended upon her. Dozens of
Wait.
tendrils.
Did she body slam her?
Wait,
Legion?
what?
Not
descended.
yet. Not apparently. Well, she is taller, so she could be moving downward.
By God Almighty, Biolante's climbing to the top rope! Don't do it! Don't do it! Oh my God! She jumped!
Anyway,
dozens of tendrils ripped and bit into Legion's exterior. Legion quickly closed her horn, and in a knife-like sweep, sliced a good many tendrils off. However, by that point, Violante was already all over her. Legion struggled wildly as Violante tried another tactic, opening its massive maw, revealing her rows of razor-sharp teeth. She then clamped down onto Legion's neck, ripping through Legion's armor easily. Violante did not stop there, though. She started shaking her head side to side, letting her rows of teeth act like a chainsaw while she clamped down even harder. Legion suddenly realized that Violante was trying to tear her head off. Legion began to panic as Violante's teeth worked deeper, and more oxygen began to escape. The alien queen raised her two massive back legs at Violante and swung them down, hoping to get the persistent pest off her. The blade-like weapon dug into Biolante's snout, causing a massive spurt of green blood to rise into the air before splattering messily like raindrops onto the floor. However, Violante withstood the blows, and much to Legion's horror, the wound sealed instantly, regenerating just like the tendrils. Legion then opened her horn again and charged another EMP beam, aiming this time at Biolante's back. However, Violante, seeing the eerie blue glow, began to emanate from Legion's horn, and orb, of course, quickly reacted, driving Legion against a building. Legion quickly lost her aim, blasting instead the Umeda Sky Building and a certain form that resided atop it.
Correct.
Both disappeared in a flash of fire. Legion was enraged. Pass.
Oh, finally.
Oh, huh?
Oh, finally.
Finally, God, you kept me waiting. Kept you waiting, huh? The massive alien mother swung both legs and Biollante again. Just swung right through. Just swung her around like a top. Ripping clean through Biolante's soft plant matter and impaling her snout. And with newfound rage, swung her horn. Superheated by the electromagnetic beam at Biolante's jaws stabbing into the beast's foul jaws, instantly setting the plant's jaws ablaze. Taken aback by the blow, Biollante relinquished her bite momentarily and roared in pain, revealing massive lacerations on the monster extraterrestrial's back. But Legion was free! She was finally free! And much to the alien's relief, her head's still on. That would be a problem, I admit. Also attached to her back legs was the front of Biolante's upper jaw. The mutated monstrosity growled in anger, and her raised her tendrils in preparation for round 2, as her snout regenerated in seconds, quickly looking good as new. However, Legion chose not to stay, instead performing a tactical retreat. She used the Joestar family's secret technique. Run away! Driving her knife-like head into the ground, Legion swiftly disappeared into the ground. Can she burrow?
Yeah, she could burrow.
Okay. Leaving not a it's been a while. I've only seen the movie like once, alright? Violante, though, was somewhat suspicious. Legion just gained a semblance of an advantage, giving her all the more rage. Actually, quick question. Can Violante burrow as well?
It might be implied. It's implied.
Yeah, I think it's kind of implied.
Violante looked around her battlefield for any trace of Legion. She was sure her battle was not over and remained cautious. As it turned out, she had a good reason to. Suddenly, hundreds of black shapes emerged from the building, the streets and vehicles, and from the underground. Oh. They looked very much like insects, but were the size of man. There were Legion's brood, her soldiers. The symbiotic legions had been called to destroy Biollante, and armed with claws in great numbers, they obeyed the call with anticipation. The miniature
So
killers...
Legion just use her special ability of Swarm?
Yeah. I pledge allegiance to Legion. Legion. The miniature killers opened their wings and swiftly flew towards Biollante. Violante roared in shock when the little monsters announced their arrival. We're here! She extended her tendrils towards the swarm, but to little effect. Apparently, Violante forgot she could literally spit blood acid.
I mean,
The Legions
she
then...
did it once.
She did it once, yeah, but still, come on. The Legions then assaulted her from all directions, clinging onto her side, head, and the orb that held her life source. The orb. Violante roared in agony as pain struck her from every inch of her body. Like a swarm of bees! The symbiotic legions utterly engulfed Violante and ripped into the Titan with their claws, sending green blood flying off the monster plant with every strike. Part number 5?
Don't worry, I'll let you know.
Okay. Violante struggled and writhed in vain as she attempted to get her new assailants off her. Violante's massive size was normally to her advantage, but was now proving to be a hindrance. Violante swayed and nearly lost her balance in the mad writhing, crashing into an office building instantly demolished and under her weight. She needs to lose some. I'm telling you. I'm sorry, Violante, but time to go on. It's time to go on Kaiju White Watchers. Look what happened with Godzilla. You see those thunder thighs? He let himself
the 80s
go,
and
man.
the 90s were not a good time for kaiju fitness.
No. This proved fairly useful for Violante, seeing as the impact killed and shoved off a large number of Legion soldiers. However, it did not kill enough to alleviate Violante's pain. Huh? Oh, thank you. Violante swung herself into yet another building, hoping to get rid of herself. His brain over here. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
We can wait.
No. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta go.
Who's the special guest star?
I know, suspense, but something came up.
All right, fair enough.
Special guest
All
star.
right.
Hooray.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I messed up the entire reading order. Fuckers.
I'll
All
finish
right,
up
I'll see you.
Harley's part,
Okay,
and then
thank
I'll
you.
pass off to Nagoto.
I'll see you guys later.
All right,
Okay.
see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Have fun.
All right, I'll finish off Harley's part, and then I'll pass on to Nagoto. Biollante swung herself into yet another building, hoping to rid herself of more Legion soldiers. But the deadly bugs just kept coming, some flying towards her, others emerging from the sewers and subway lines. Biollante roared in pain as some began to burrow into her body. Biollante swiftly extended a jawed tendril at one of the Legion soldier, who was digging into the faintly glowing glowing orb in her chest. Obi. The symbiotic legion was instantly crushed and killed, releasing a puff of oxygen as it went, but Biollante could only pluck so many Legion soldiers. Soon, the streets of Osaka were green with Biollante's blood. Biollante decided to attempt one last resort, closing her jaws and crushing roughly a dozen unsuspecting Legion soldiers. But wait, why is there a parentheses there?
Oh, wait.
It doesn't end.
Wait,
No.
what?
Those.
What the heck? Oh, it does end. Oh no. What the heck? There's another.
Wait,
Oh, that's random.
where's the other parenthesis at?
Lower in the next, it's in the paragraph after exploded into flames. Like, there's a sentence that's
I don't
capped
think
off
so.
in parentheses.
That has its own parentheses in there.
Yeah, I know. But the one that starts here doesn't end. Alright, keep that in mind. Closing her jaws and crushing roughly a dozen unsuspecting Legion soldiers, Biolante's snout began to charge up with bright green strands of electricity before she opened her jaw, blasting a steam of acid at Legion soldiers digging into the front of her body. In a flash, part of Biolante's core was dissolved. Along with it, so were the bugs. Violante then dragged her entire body weight against a city block, instantly demolishing the entire structure, but also killing the remaining Legion soldiers. Unfortunately for Biollante, the symbiotic legions were not done with their assault. A second line of soldiers emerged from the underground, clicking their claws in anticipation. Biollante growled deeply, frustrated and, much as she hated to admit it, alarmed. Immediately, electricity began to charge around her jaws. Then, Biolante's back exploded into flames. Pass. Nagoda?
He has died, and he will never return.
Oh no. Okay,
Give
Nagoda?
it the one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, it's my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
No.
Violante roared
No.
in agony.
Oh, you cut out
It-
because I thought you were still reading. Okay, so Violante roared in agony as her back rippled with massive explosions, almost blowing it clean off. And the massive kaiju roared and writhed as another beam exploded next to her. The explosion was massive. Chunks of Biollante laid across the food capital of the world, as well as the burnt husk of a number of unfortunate symbiotic legions caught in the crossfire. Before Biollante could turn, a beam swept above her head, obliterating a building next to the plant monster, and sending thousands of tons of rubble crashing onto Biollante. The massive plant roared in pain as her body quickly regenerated wounds. Legion was back. Violante roared in bestial
I'm
fury
pretty sure? Or bestial?
as she turned to face her old foe. This time, Legion had emerged just 100 meters away from her. Both enemies charged towards each other, giving their signature roars as they did. As Violante prepared her tendrils to strike, Legion suddenly spread two feathery wings from her back and flew towards Violante at speeds of Mach 1 using bug buzz. Violante was taken by surprise at her enemy's sudden speed, and Legion quickly took advantage.
Ooh.
Ran the Violante in the orb with her razor-sharp horn, driving Violante backwards.
Ooh.
The massive plant roared in pain as Violante forced her against the skyscraper, before quickly retaliating. Around Legion, dozens of tendrils emerged from the ground. Each spear-like tendril ripped into Legion's side and horn, and forcibly dragged Legion from Violante's chest as Legion squirmed in agony from the vine whips. The tendril then relinquished their grip, sending streams of oxygen to spray from her side, slowing Legion's movement. Legion, however, was more worried for her horn. The brittle object had suffered severe damage from the tendril strike. Legion gurgled in rage, much to Violante's pleasure. Apparently, Violante's what is it called? I think it's a sadistic kaiju now.
Sadomasochist, I guess. I don't know.
Probably because she can regenerate. Legion swiftly its foe's pleasure, sense at all, and was not going to take it lightly. Her razor-sharp back legs at Biollante, to which Biollante used a bundle of tooth tendrils to clamp onto the colossal structure, dragging it back to the ground, where it quickly disappeared. Violante, in response to Legion's attack, sent a flurry of spear-like tendrils at Legion, to which Legion used her razor-sharp horn and slashed at the offending structures off. Violante dragged her full weight onto the alien queen, but Legion was prepared this time.
Biollante the Dragged.
I'll bet my lip. Suddenly, Legion took to the air, causing Violante to miss completely. She then descended onto the plant, stabbing the monster's head mercilessly with the move Fury Attack. Violante howled in surprise, landing face first in the streets of Osaka. Pillars of rubble flying into the air, using rock throw. Violante reared her head up again, only to get slammed down by Legion's massive body as she used Body Slam. I'm just gonna keep naming Pokemon moves because I can. Violante quickly extended her snake-like tendrils. She grabbed onto Lord Spider's web using the Leech Seed. Violante, successfully grabbing her foe, attempted to drag the monster's space bug down. However, Legion used her own size to pull in the opposite direction. Engaged in a brief tug-of-war, each using their own immense strength, until the sounds of creaking, ripping tendrils was heard. Violante came to the shocking realization that her web was snapping, even though she doesn't have webs. Violante quickly opened her massive maw and clamped onto Legion's egg sac, instantly ripping it open in her massive rows of teeth. That must hurt.
I just want to make note, Biollante is a crocodile. How is it just she's impaling her and ripping? Or because I don't think if she grabbed that out, you're basically taking all of Legion with her. Like, I'm just saying.
You're taking a nice bit of Legion with her if you're ripping out the egg sac, but
Yeah.
Legion gasped in horror and agony as the eggs popped like bubble wrap. That sounds fun. Gurgling in agony, Legion swiftly came down rather messily. This new enemy had gone too far indeed. Her eggs were gone. Any chances of her amassing an army were gone. Violante grinned gleefully, knowing her attack had decidedly been excruciatingly painful. Jin rose, her blue eyes gazing in silent anger at this preposterous offender. Legion was now more annoyed at this enemy. She was enraged. She had ruined her pod, her army, and was possibly going to destroy her. Legion quickly wiped the last thought out of her mind. Destroy her? Impossible! There was no way this monster vegetable could destroy her. Legion sent her colossal back legs under Biollante and quickly began to lift them up. Violante initially believed that Legion was trying to rip her roots, her par.
yeah, it's a little weird. Her roots, her par.
Was that supposed to be a part, maybe?
I guess.
But this
Rip her
But
roots
this intergalactic Napoleon was not so merciful.
Okay.
Violante suddenly felt herself being ripped out of the ground. Legion gurgled and screamed in unconstrained
Bless you.
fury as she pulled Violante from the ground with her incredible strength using superpower. Violante's roars of frustration and the snapping of roots satisfied Legion somewhat.
Oh, only somewhat, not all the
Only
way.
somewhat. Because she's
Yes,
a
only
bigoted
somewhat.
Christian. Anyway.
Stop till Violante was lifted completely from the ground. How many paragraphs is this right now?
You got 2 more.
2 more? Okay. Violante would not stand for this. As Legion pulled, Violante delivered an underground weapon of her own. Dozens of spear-like tendrils darted forward, ripping into Legion's chest. Violante sent even more tendrils rising, each either stabbing into armor or pinning Legion down, even though they're going upwards instead of down into the earth. But anyways, Violante laughed evilly before... I thought she was the hero. Wasn't she?
Park
I mean-
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And
Before
part bad B-movie 50s horror.
pulling her spirit tendrils in the opposite directions, effectively tearing a large hole in Legion's chest.
Doing more
A massive jet of oxygen burst out. Legion felt her legs slowly becoming weaker. Agony from the blow was overwhelming, and Legion's unearthly cries could be heard by whoever cared to stay in Osaka even though they should be dead already. As Legion howled in agony, Violante released stream after stream of acid at Legion's face. Legion swiftly sent her legs back down as she writhed in pain. Violante relished in her foe's suffering. Pass.
Oh, it's my turn finally? Oh,
Yes.
You
kind
can
of
wake
asleep
up
there.
now.
Alright. Yeah, god damn, I have to still do this. Legion gasped weakly on the ground. Her enemy was unbelievable, like Marin. No matter what damage she dealt to this monster, Violante would simply regenerate it. On the other hand, Legion's damages were still present and worsening. Legion stared up at her tower. Strength was mostly spent. On the other hand, Violante was good as new. Legion struggled as Violante clamped her massive maw onto Legion's head, splintering the armor across its length. Legion gurgled as she felt her horn snapping. Quote-unquote horn. Violante sank her massive maw into her enemy, prepared to destroy this enemy, and this planet destroyed once and for all. Legion had proved to be a worthy opponent, but that was all the credit she would give this repulsive antagonist. Violante felt Legion's brittle head about to snap clean in two. Suddenly, Violante's head exploded into a massive fireball. On her upper jaw, at least whatever the cause, Violante was in agony. No, she was beyond that. She was in the realm of pain. But that even her regeneration was not enough. Violante
Of
screamed
course,
in
she's a
pain.
plant type.
Much to Legion's delight, Legion was weak and her horn on the verge of falling off. But she could utilize her Prime Minister Shin Godzilla card on her now severely injured foe. Before Violante could regenerate her wounds, Legion pumped another massive blast of electro blah 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 energy into the chest orb, nearly incinerating it in a ripple of wall of flame. To cause further damage, Legion dragged the beam up Violante's body, nearly tearing Violante clean to half. The monster flailed helplessly. Legion rained her beams of death onto Violante. Violante took a while to get back to her senses, but was quick to attack when she did. Violante swiftly rammed Legion's butthole to the ground with her incredible weight, snapping Legion's horn under it. Legion howled in agony as the two knife-like structure spun into the air. However, even with the loss of her horn, Legion could live to fight another day. No, she won't. But for the plant, it was probably all too late. She had been mortally wounded. Green blood covered every inch of the earth around her. Most of her head was gone, and her brain, the orb in her chest, had suffered massive damage. Her tendrils were but burnt stuff. Legion knew that as well. Massive instinct turned and began to drag herself away from the battle scenes. As Violante keeled over, Legion suddenly spun around. Her eyes were now a vengeful crimson, and the orb once hidden by her horn held the same hue. From it, Legion charged another deadly weapon. Red energy slowly formed crimson energy whips that swiftly lengthened. Violante gasped in horror as the crimson whip sliced most of her upper body off at once. Violante crashed to the ground with a moan of pain, much to the alien queen's satisfaction. Legion reared up into the air and gave a cry of victory. The Titan lifted her weak body up in the air and waved her wings. Her back legs in triumph as she celebrated her triumph. Legion heard shuffling. Violante's movements had not ceased, and the plant monster reared up one more. What was left of the plant monster, while Doom was still fighting. The monster plant charged Legion, using its remaining strength and size to drag Legion against an office building, nearly obliterating the structure. No, really? Legion Crimson's eyes flashed in anger and rage at her failure to kill this past deadly crimson which slashed at Violante's body, sending plant matter splattering across the streets, ignoring the damage Violante did. One last war-like monster she was derived for, fighting until the last moment. Her tendril stubs suddenly regenerated all at once, and a hauntingly beautiful eruption of tendrils tore across the alien body and flashed the squealing Legion was ripped apart. Then all had come to a shattering end. Across what had just a few seconds ago been a vicious battlefield, the once mighty queen's armor slaves scattered, surrounded by a passive mist of pure oxygen, almost simultaneously, Violante faded into glistening spores that filled the night sky. The brilliant dust then formed the face of the girl which Violante had once been, before descending back to the ground to rest forever. Then Gamera, the janitor of the universe, arrived to clean the mess.
Yes.
Violante and Legion, and Gamera was certainly the loser for having to clean it up.
The draw between Biollante and Legion. Whew, that was a lengthy one, but honestly, that one was
I
actually
fell
pretty
asleep. It was too long. I fell asleep.
good.
I'm not going to lie. It's. Kaiju, you can go first.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely a bit more on the long end for two monsters duking it out without any real sort of like side story going on, whatever. All things considered, though, what I do like about this match, I think for me, is Legion. Like, she was, like, I like the fact that, like, a lot of her powers, if not all of her powers, were utilized in a way, including the flying ability, which I was not expecting from this match. So it was definitely a treat to see Legion being used to kind of like using everything she can, compared to match 58, which could have used more of Star Falcon and Lamogera, for example. So yeah, Legion was used really well. Biollante was very durable and was used effectively as well. So this is actually a really solid match. It's just a kind of a long read, but I think it's well worth it.
I don't think so. It's good enough read to fall asleep. But I didn't think it was terrible. I thought it was okay. I liked the way they both died. Not how Gamma came in. That was fun.
It's just this match. I think this match just suffers from you have two very meaty opponents, and there's nothing cutting. Like there's no. It's just them constantly fighting, and that just wears on. Very much like again, while they can take a lot, the audience that reads this can't. So
that's like too
it's
much
good.
of a good thing could be
Yeah.
a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just overly long and kind of overly detailed, and not there. I understand these are two juggernauts, but there's a point of overdoing it, and I think this was a little bit just a smidge overdone.
I can understand that. Like that is kind of the one. I think I said this, but that is kind of like the one fault that is a bit long for what's for the most part two monsters beating the crap out of each other.
Yep.
Like there's no real sort of side story going on. It's literally like 3,500 words of them beating each other up. Anyone there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, good.
We just agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I just fell asleep again.
Right, Nagoda, did you have anything to add on?
What?
Did
Wait,
you
cut out for a bit again.
Nagoda, did you have anything to add on?
No. The way I see it is that this is just a giant Pokemon battle with a grass dragon type versus a bug type.
Which surprisingly
And then-
ended in a draw.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the match wasn't terrible. It's just your meh.
Right. The way it's written is fine, but it's got good ideas in it for the most part.
With how much oxygen was being released.
But yeah, and Harley having to leave halfway through, bit of a bummer, but hey, what can you do? Real life gets to you.
This is true. Still though, damn.
But yeah,
Charging
definitely.
up a sleep bomb.
Hell of a match. Well,
Yeah, one heck of a match. Good grief.
well, next time at least we're fighting with or reading two monsters fighting each other. So completely new, completely different story.
Completely new, absolutely. Anyway, that was match 59, and we will see you guys next time for match 60. Until then.
See you guys.